Hello everyone, my name is Jade Bell and this is my micro teaching project for English 607 at Liberty University. My topic is Invention Strategies, Sustaining the Ideas Generating Process in First Drafts, and the title of my project is When Pen Met Paper. So the first question we need to ask about invention strategies is, what are invention strategies? And invention strategies are ways we help our students think of, develop, and organize a topic for a writing assignment. So when we think about invention strategies, there are three different things we need to remember and how to implement these in the classroom. And the first is that we need to remember that writing starts well before the pen hits the paper. And this idea corresponds with providing our students with experiences. Now that's interacting with different types of literature, different kinds of genres, to help them have a knowledge base. A problem that a lot of writers come to when they start to write is that they don't have any experience base to come from. So we want to be providing them with experiences to relate to and a knowledge base. The second thing is that we need to be teaching them strategies. Now this is the actual invention strategies, how to come up with a topic, what to think about it. Now research shows that students who are poor writers know less about writing strategies than students who perform well in writing. So it's very important for us to teach our students ways to come up with their invention process. And then the third is that writing starts with thinking. Critical thinking skills are essential to being able to write well. And we want our students to be able to come to a text or any kind of topic that we're looking at, whether it be in math or science as well, and be able to think critically about that topic. So these three things boil down to three separate topics which need to be covered in each invention strategy. And the first is provide experience. The second is provide structure, which is teaching them the strategy. And the third is teach them critical thinking skills. Now these critical thinking skills are developed as they learn the strategies that we're going to be talking about today. Now we're going to go over three different types of invention strategies. And the first one is brainstorming. Now, a definition of brainstorming is the process of writing down a topic or phrase and then writing down every idea and thought that comes to mind. So for our first topic we're going to talk about is one option, one way to do brainstorming. And it's have your students read a literature assignment, and that's going to be our experience. And for this, we'll say they read A Rose for Emily by William Faulkner. And after the reading, organize the students into small groups and have them discuss the assignment for 10 to 15 minutes. And for this first time, you're going to have prompting questions. So we're going to talk about A Rose for Emily. We're going to talk about, what did love mean to Emily, and what did Emily learn in this story? What do we know about Emily? Things like that. After the discussion, have the students sit down for the brainstorming exercise. In this, you're going to start with a very specific and clear topic or theme. So, A Rose for Emily, we're going to choose love. So you're going to have the students brainstorm for 10 minutes about the word love in a topic for Emily. Now, as your class progresses, you can start to make the brainstorming activity less structured by allowing them to choose their own topic while they're doing that. Now, the section option is an activity called going to the wall. And for this, you're going to post up paper on a wall in your classroom. And your shared experience is going to be another reading assignment. So we'll just use Romeo and Juliet for this one. So they've all read Romeo and Juliet, and now we're going to talk about different topics. You're going to assign different topics, real rough, broad ones, things like passion and love and marriage. You're going to have the students go up and write each of those topics on the paper. And then periodically throughout the week, for however long you decide to do it, you're going to have the students come up and respond to the different topics on the wall. So for love, someone could write, what does love mean? And then another student could say, what kind of love do we see in Romeo and Juliet? And then another student could choose to answer that question and say, we see brotherly love, we see love between a parent and a child, we see love between two lovers. So you're having the students use each other to generate ideas, and the teacher should be a part of that process as well by asking questions. The second type of invention strategy we're going to look at is called clustering. And the definition of that is a simple technique which lifts the familiar concepts of brainstorming into a new dimension. Students are shown how to cluster by centering a key word or phrase, circling it, and then allowing each idea to run its course in a line of related words or ideas. We're actually going to do this really quickly. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to do it. about a minute to do that. And so you're going to take a blank sheet of paper and you're going to write teaching on it. And then you're going to do cluster from that. So from teaching, you can write students or lesson planning, something like that. And so go ahead and fill that out while I'm finishing up this this clustering section, and then we'll look at those. So for the first option we can talk about with clustering is color-coded clustering, and this is a good idea for younger writers. The first cluster will be a group activity, and they can be written on a blackboard. So you're going to share, the shared experience is going to be a book again this time, and I suggested Where the Wild Things Are by Mari Sindak, and then your cluster word is going to be wild. So you'll write wild up on the board, and then you're going to ask a series of questions, and each question is going to have a color code. And there can be 5 questions, they're going to be based off the 5 senses. So your first question is going to be what does wild look like, and all the answers for that are going to be in red. And the next will be what does wild smell like, and all of those will be blue. And that helps students track their ideas' progress. And that can become less structured as you go by allowing the students to do that at their own desk or even choosing their own theme depending on how old the students are. Now the second option is going to be called discussion clustering, and this is better for older students. And then your shared experience is going to be a reading assignment again, and for this we'll again talk about A Rose for Emily by William Faulkner. And then you're going to have a topic word, and for that we'll use love, and have the students use a cluster method with the word love for 2 to 3 minutes. And then for these first few times you're going to do it, you're going to have prompting questions like what is love and what does love mean to Emily. And then have the students write a short paragraph about the associations they made that can last for 2 to 3 minutes. And once the students are done, group them in small groups to discuss what they wrote down. And as the course continues, you're going to use less and less structure by allowing them to choose their own themes as they go. And so now that we're done with the clustering section, let's take a look at an example of clustering. And this is what I did for teaching. And you can see here I thought about college and tuition and liberty and homework and other things there, and that's really great. That's the whole idea there, separate from teaching. I'm getting more and more specific. So that's really helpful for students to come up with ideas and topics. Now the third topic we're going to talk about is free writing. And the definition of free writing is continuous, uninterrupted writing for a set period of time. And the important thing about free writing is that it must never be graded or judged. And for it to be effective, this should be a continual process, something that happens multiple times. So it's helpful to have it be a part of your daily classroom routine or homework assignment. So for our first option for free writing is topical free writing. So choose a topic or idea from a reading assignment all the students have participated in, and we'll just keep going with A Rose for Emily, and it'll be love. So allow them for 10 minutes to write uninterrupted about whatever comes to mind from that initial statement of love. And over a period of time, allow this practice to become less structured by allowing the students to free write their thoughts about the reading assignment with no prompting. So just whatever they think about A Rose for Emily. And then eventually you'll let them to pure free writing, just about whatever they want. And that's a really great practice to have in the morning. But you're starting with very structured to help them see how free writing works to a very broad, open time to allow them to practice that. And then the last option is layered free writing, and this actually uses 2 types of invention strategies. So you'll start with something like clustering or brainstorming and then do free writing from there. So let's go back to this teaching cluster. So you started with teaching, you told them to write down teaching and write about different things, and so they wrote down lessons, they thought planning and research. So from there they're going to free write about those topics for 10 to 15 minutes and let them continue to do that. And that's going to become less structured as you go by allowing them to choose their own topics for what they're free writing about, what they're brainstorming and clustering about. So in review, it's important for invention strategies to make sure they are structured, that they have an experience, and that they're teaching critical thinking skills. And when all of these are present, your invention strategies are going to be the most effective. Now, below in the comments, I'm going to include the references for all the journal articles I used here. Thank you for your time and have a great day.